Hi, this is Simon from CustomLuthierSupply.com, here with a video guide on how to apply one of our custom guitar headstock decals. When you order from us, this is how you'll receive your decals. Open it up, take out your packing slip, and inside you'll find a card pouch. Inside there we've got some printed application instructions, an unprinted offcut for you to practice with, and the decals themselves that we send out in some soft tissue paper so that they don't get damaged in transit. These application instructions are really comprehensive. Even if you've used Waterslide decals before, definitely recommend that you have a read through. Our decals are quite thin, so might behave slightly differently to what you're used to. It's important that you've prepared your headstock in the correct way. All of this is covered in these printed instructions. Opening up the tissue paper, if you've ordered multiple decals, we put each one on its own separate layer. Don't throw away this tissue paper, you'll need it later on when you're applying the decals to smooth them out and get rid of any of the excess water, so just put it to one side for the moment. We're not going to be using this offcut in the video today, but if you haven't used our decals before, then you should definitely try it. It'll give you an idea for how the material behaves. You'll need to trim your decal before you apply it. Don't follow the outline of the print too closely. It's best to go for a smooth pebble-like shape. This will make it easier to apply and help prevent any folds or creases. This is one of our SF140 style decals that we supply in two parts. There's a larger bit to go along the length of the headstock and a smaller bit for the end. While you can reposition the decal a little bit once it's on the headstock, it's best to have an idea of where you're going to put it before you start the application process. When you're happy with the position, you just need a large mug or a bowl of room temperature water. Put a little bit on the headstock first. This will help you reposition it to get it in the perfect position once you apply the decal. Hold the decal when you go to put it in the water. It will curl up, this is just the backing getting wet, there's nothing to worry about. You want to leave the decal in the water for a few seconds, that should be enough to release the film from the backing paper. When it's out of the water, just check that it has indeed released from the backing, and then move it over into position onto the headstock. You're aiming to keep the decal film still while sliding the backing paper out from underneath the decal. You can see, because we put a bit of water on the headstock first, that you're able to reposition the decal slightly just to get it in exactly the right spot. When you're happy with where it is, grab the tissue paper that we had earlier that the decal came packed in, fold it over a few times, and then use the soft rounded edge, whilst keeping the decal in place with one hand, smooth it out in the other direction with the tissue paper. This will get rid of the creases, get rid of the excess water, make sure it's nice and flat on the headstock, get rid of any air bubbles that are underneath. The small decal for the end of the headstock, again, put a little bit of water onto the end. This one only needs a second or two. It's so tiny, and you can see almost immediately releases from the backing, and then we can just use the thumb and forefinger to pull the backing out from underneath. Now on this one we did get a small crease in the decal, but because we've put that water down first, it's nice and easy to tease it out afterwards. Position the decal where you want it to be, and again we just use some of the tissue paper we had earlier, fold it up, use the nice rounded smooth edge to smooth over the decal. Now this smaller decal would be far more prone to moving around as you dry it, so it's important that you hold it on one edge, hold it still with your thumb whilst you smooth it out, and as you get rid of that excess water and the creases and the air bubbles from underneath, you'll find that the decal is then stuck pretty firmly to the headstock. We recommend giving the decal 24 hours to dry, then it's ready to be lacquered over. Lacquering over the decal both seals it in to protect it and should make the outline and backing just vanish.